Hey everyone, this is Michael again. Welcome to the Friday Night Smackdown review. And tonight's Smackdown was from the Bankers Life Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. And this was the first Smackdown after the draft, which happened last week. And I gotta say, first show after the draft from last week, this show sucked, in my opinion. It really did. It fucking sucked. But let's get started with the SmackDown review. So, SmackDown opened up tonight with a match for the Intercontinental Championship. Roman Reigns versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Of course, Sami Zayn ended up coming out there, with Nakamura. Always, but I gotta say, the match itself, it was a good match, in my opinion. It was a very good match between the both of them, and it was back and forth between them. You had at one point Sami Zayn, interfering, and he ended up moving Nakamura out of the way because Roman does that move on the ring apron, so Sami Zayn ended up moving Nakamura out of the way. Roman ended up landed on the apron, and towards the end of the match ended up getting in a disqualification. Match ended in a disqualification because Baron Corbin comes in, hits Roman from behind with the scepter. Then we see Corbin ends up hitting Roman with the deep six. Daniel Bryan ends up coming out to make the save for Roman. Daniel Bryan ends up taking out Nakamura and Corbin. Daniel Bryan ends up going to the top, ends up hitting a missile drop kick to Nakamura. And Daniel Bryan was going to do no move, but Sami Zayn ended up holding on to Daniel Bryan's knee. He was holding on to Daniel Bryan's knee for a while, which led to Nakamura hitting the running knee to Daniel Bryan. So now it's basically that. So Nakamura still holds the Intercontinental Championship. Later on in the night, we had in the main event, it was just Roman and Daniel Bryan versus Nakamura and Corbin. Yeah, like typical WWE booking there. You book them in a tag team match. I'm like, it's terrible. It's fucking terrible. So, overall, it was a good match, but disqualification and then putting them later on in a tag team match in the main event. I'm like, what fucking terrible decision to do that. Then after that, we saw the New Day. The New Day were backstage. They were having fun. They had pancakes there. They were singing. Tucker Knight ends up coming up. Tucker Knight ends up having a picnic table. And Tucker wants to build some camaraderie. And he ends up calling Otis in. And, gotta love Otis. Otis was funny here. He arrives. He was stirring pancake batter that in a bowl. He was stirring it. And Tucker Knight adds a protein powder inside of it. And New Day was like, oh, no, we don't like that. We don't want any of that. And so Otis ends up pouring a bunch in, and he pours it all over his mouth. He ends up going crazy. It was funny. You gotta love Otis. You gotta love Otis Dozovic. So, but that was the backstage segment with them. And New Day and Heavy Machinery were in a 8-man tag team match tonight. So later on, they end up taking on Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, and the Revival. Then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, Kayla Braxton, she was interviewing Baron Corbin. So, she was asking Corbin, about, what he did out there. And so Corbin just says nothing, puts on his crown, and leaves. So basically didn't say anything. So, that was that. And then we had Chad Gable. Yes, not Shorty Gable. And I'll get to this shitty fucking thing that he said tonight. Oh God, I can't believe they did this. It came true. It came fucking true. So it was Chad Gable versus Curtis Axel. It was a squash match. Chad Gable ends up winning. Ankle lock on Curtis Axel. Axel ended up tapping out. So Chad Gable ends up winning. Then you had post-match. Kayla Braxton, she ended up interviewing Chad Gable. Chad Gable talks about how his height is what makes him who he is. And he says it's okay to be exactly who you are. He says you're going to run into people that want to screw with you. But tonight, he ended up saying to them, thank you for making him look deep inside himself. Gable went on to say that he liked what he saw, and he's embracing who he is. He says, we all have insecurities, but he stands here to say, you can overcome if you just accept who you are. He says he's Shorty Gable, but he wants to shorten it up. And he wants to be called, get ready guys, get ready folks. Chad Gable wants to be called Shorty G. Oh my God. And then when he said that, I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, can you imagine Greg Hamilton, if Gable wins a title, he's going to be saying, and the new, if this was in the future, and the new WWE champion, Shorty G. Can you fucking believe that? Can you fucking believe that? And I said they were WWE was talking about changing Gable's name earlier in the year or like months ago. They said, oh, they got trademark for Shorty G, and they fucking did it tonight. I don't believe this. Shorty G. That's what Gable wants to be called. Shorty G. No, you're still going to be called Chad Gable from me because fuck the name of Shorty G. It's laughable. It's fucking laughable. And stupid. Fucking Shorty G. Goddamn name that they chose, that they gave him. It's garbage. Garbage. Then after that, we had Hulk Hogan. He was being interviewed over Skype as to how he plans to fill his team for Team Hogan, because Seth Rollins is now out of being the captain of Hogan's team, because he's going to be taking on The Fiend at Crown Jewel. So that was the only reason why they took Seth Rollins out of this Team Hogan versus Team Flair match, because he has a rematch against The Fiend. So, but Hogan says he's got the whole locker room wanting to be on his team. Hulk ended up saying the two guys that stood out the most were Chad Gable and Mustafa Ali. And he says by the end of the show, he's going to announce his new captain so he can be rid of Ric Flair once and for all. And right from there, I knew who they were going to choose to be the captain, the new captain for Hogan's team. And no, it's not Chad Gable, and it's not Mustafa Ali. We'll get to that. And then we had an 8-man tag team match. New Day and Heavy Machinery versus Dolph Ziggler, Robert Roode, and The Revival. And the match itself, it was a meh 8-man tag. Sorry about that, but I was saying the 8-man tag team match, it was very meh in my opinion. It was just back and forth between all of them, Heavy Machinery and New Day. I think they, in my opinion, they were decent here, but New Day and Heavy Machinery, they ended up getting the win. Big E and Xavier ended up hitting the Midnight Hour on Scott Dawson for the win. So Heavy Machinery and New Day win the match. But overall, very meh tag team 8-man tag. Then we had Daniel Bryan was being interviewed backstage by Caleb Braxton. Daniel Bryan said he's been beat up thousands of times, and it's never affected his mindset. He wanted to say he doesn't care about all this nonsense. All he cares about is that tonight is his first fight on SmackDown, and he's excited to tag up with Roman and put these two kings into their place. So that was the interview with Daniel Bryan. Then we have Miz TV. Miz came out for Miz TV, of course. Ends up introducing his guest, who was Bayley. So Bayley came out. She had new music, which I thought, to me, her new music is, okay. Not great, though, by any means, though. But Bayley made her way out. Sasha was by her. Sasha Banks was there by her. So originally it was going to be just Bayley doing a one-on-one interview with The Miz on Miz TV. But Sasha somehow, made her way out there with Bayley. So The Miz interviews Bayley, and Bayley and Sasha adds that Bayley is the first ever women's Grand Slam champion in WWE. So The Miz ends up showing a video package of all what Bayley did leading up to now, including the heel turn from last week. And after it was over, Miz ends up asking Bayley why. And Bayley ends up saying that she doesn't owe anyone an explanation. He ends up saying that, Miz ends up saying he compares Bayley to Brock Lesnar and Sasha to Paul Heyman. And he's demanding to know why Bayley turned. And, he offers a explanation, of lack of respect or insecurity about her looks or being a second banana to Sasha Banks. Sorry about that, but I was saying, The Miz was saying how, Bayley is like, plays a, second fiddle to Sasha Banks. So Sasha ends up bringing up that The Miz was drafted after her. And Bayley says she ended up slashing the Bayley buddies because they define her. They define her entire career as fun and colorful. And she says, what about her? Bayley ended up saying every single week she gave headbands, high fives, hugs, and all we did was take without seeing who she was. She says she wanted to make a better future and change the world. And the night she first won the SmackDown Women's Championship, she said she was going to elevate the women's division, this women's division. And she did exactly that. She ended up going on to say that when she lost the title at Hell in a Cell, she was heartbroken. And she was like, was anyone there for her to hug her? And she picked herself up and won the title back. So Bayley ended up saying that the division lacks desire and passion. And she used to be there. She was trying to be what they wanted her to be. So Bayley ends up pulling a Vince McMahon, because Vince said this years ago in the promo that he cut. He ended up saying, Bayley ended up saying, life sucks, and then you die. Same thing what Vince McMahon said years ago in a promo. So Nikki Cross made her entrance. Nikki Cross was on the mic. Nikki ended up saying to Bayley, that's enough. She ends up saying that she thinks she speaks for everyone here when she says the time for talking is done and the action is now. She tells Bayley to go make herself comfortable, and after she wins this match tonight, she'll go over and give Bayley a great, big, huge hug. And so then Dana Brooke came out. Dana Brooke had a mic in her hand. What she was saying was so cringe. They let Dana Brooke out of catering for this. She ends up talking about, how she was being underutilized and overlooked, and it fuels her passion and desire. She says tonight it's a new beginning for her. And then she's like, oh yeah, can we all see you flex? Can I see your muscles? Cringe. Absolute cringe. They got Dana Brooke out of catering for this match right here. Then we had Lacey Evans come out. Lacey, made her way out. Then SmackDown went to a commercial. And then when SmackDown came back from the commercial, it was the six-pack challenge match, women's match. Nikki Cross versus Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Dana Brooke, Carmella, and Lacey Evans. Whoever won the match is the number one contender to face Bayley for the title. And the match itself, this match was just, lazy booked. This is WWE being lazy, where they create a six-pack challenge for a shot for the title. And none of these women did anything to get an opportunity. WWE is like, oh yeah, let's throw these women in here. Let's give one of these women a title shot, even though they never got an opportunity to show us, that they want an opportunity. So, yeah, there you go. Go out there. Let's have this match. Let's get a number one contender for Bayley for the title. Absolutely lazy. I said WWE being lazy. And, the match itself, it was meh, in my opinion. I was like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit about this match? So in the end, Nikki Cross got the win. She ended up hitting the spin neck breaker to Mandy Rose. So there you go. Nikki Cross wins the match. Nikki Cross gets to face Bayley, be the number one contender for Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. There you go. Match. Like I said, WWE just booked this match. None of these women had an opportunity. They have not won another match for an opportunity to get a title shot. So WWE just threw them in there. That was basically it. Fucking lazy booking. And then we had Braun Strowman versus Drew Gulak. Yes, Drew Gulak from 205 Live. He was drafted to SmackDown. And this was just a squash match. This match maybe lasted like 4 or 5 minutes tops. And when the bell rang, Gulak, was backing up, ends up getting on the mic, and he says that, seeing as this is his SmackDown debut, he wants to properly introduce himself. So he ends up telling everyone in Strowman that he is a former Cruiserweight champion, a combat sports historian, and he says if Braun Strowman goes into Crown Jewel doing the same thing that he does, with the shoulder tackles, what Braun Strowman does, running power slam, tosses superstars in the ring, and he says Strowman will advance, against, Tyson Fury. And Gulak ends up backing off, saying that, if he does that, Tyson Fury is going to knock him out cold. Gulak says he doesn't want that. And he's cut from the same cloth as Strowman as a WWE superstar. And we all know, if you watch 205 Live, how Drew Gulak does his PowerPoint presentation, what he used to do there on 205 Live. He did this tonight. He made himself a PowerPoint presentation to help Strowman win his match against Tyson Fury at Crown Jewel. And so Gulak ends up going on to begin the presentation. Strowman ends up taking him, throwing him around the ring, shoulder tackles on the outside, and running power slam to Drew Gulak. Braun Strowman wins. Squash match. And Drew Gulak, he's good in the ring. If you've seen him on 205 Live, had entertaining matches. Of course, he was a former Cruiserweight champion. And then you put him on SmackDown, and you're simply right here just burying the guy. You buried him with Braun Strowman. Drew Gulak is already buried right here, just from Strowman being in there. I mean, how could you put Drew Gulak in this position? And so then we had the main event, Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns versus Corbin and Nakamura, tag team match. Wasn't a bad match. It was an okay, decent match. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns, they made a good team together. You had Roman end up spearing Corbin through the barricade into the timekeeper area, which looked really cool. It's not the first time we've seen Roman do that. But Sami Zayn was also out there. And Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns got the win. Daniel Bryan ended up hitting the running knee to Nakamura. There you go. Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns end up winning the match. All in all, it was a decent match. It was kind of a fun little match. And pretty much that's how SmackDown ended. But all in all, the show sucked. I'm like, Fox paid $1 billion for this. Pretty sure if SmackDown keeps going this way with being shitty show at the shitty show every single week, Fox is going to regret that $1 billion that they paid for this. If the shows keep on getting shittier, they're like, oh yeah, we wasted $1 billion on this. I predict this show is going to hit maybe like a 1.0 in the ratings, because for the SmackDown, the first show on Fox, I think it had like a 3.4 in the ratings, and then last week it dropped big time. I think it hit like maybe like a 1.2 rating. So yeah, I wouldn't expect the rating to hit 1.0. Have like maybe like 2 million viewers for the show. But yeah, what are you gonna do? What's Fox gonna do? I mean, they're possibly gonna, make WWE. They're gonna possibly force WWE to make SmackDown be decent every single week. If these shows are still gonna be shitty, then Fox got to do something. Fox has got to get into WWE's head, into Vince's head, and be like, you're not making these shows the greatest. You need to make these shows decent and good. That's what Fox is going to do if they keep seeing that these shows are going to be shit after shit every single week. They got to step in and do something, because if they keep on getting shit, if the shows keep on getting shitty and shitty, then they're going to regret that whole $1 billion that they paid to WWE. They're going to really regret it. But anyways, that's it for the SmackDown review. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed this review. And definitely give the video a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. And until the next video, I'll see you all later.